Happy holidays. Hey guys, welcome back to the Bucket Think Tank. So it's a bit dark in here, darker than I would like. But we're making the best of what we got. So anyway, we've got really just one book today. I'm sort of playing around with this whole idea of waiting for 3 issues, and we just talk about 3 issues in a row. Go for there. Um, and see how we feel. Let me know in the comment section if this works out for you, if there's something you'd like to see. But anyway, so our Funko of the day, we've got 2 this time because it just made the most sense. The Mad Hatter and the March Hare. Oh, I love Alice in Wonderland. I do. It's fun. This was always my favorite segment as a kid from the animated movie. So yeah, that was nice. So anyway, our book this time will be Green Lantern by Philip Kennedy Johnson. We left this book off pretty much up in the air after the events of Night Terrors. I don't know why I couldn't remember that, but anyway, when we last left off, Sinestro was revealed to be back in town, and Sinestro is a game changer. All right, because Sinestro is sort of one part of what I would call a Doctor Doom cocktail for DC. If you really want a take on Doctor Doom in DC, you'd have to take 1 part Sinestro, 1 part Black Adam, and 1 part, I'd say Ra's al Ghul, I think. But anyway, so after attempting to thwart Sinestro's plan, Hal goes to a diner and he's met by Sinestro. So what does Sinestro want? Well, Sinestro, among anything, he wants to go back. He, along with Hal, have essentially been exiled, I guess, from the United Federation of Planets, which was... Where did that idea come from? Where did it come from? I do not remember where that idea emerged from. I know it was mentioned in Justice League Last Ride, and I think there was a plan in... It was mentioned again in Philip Kennedy Johnson's Action Comics. I think Philip Kennedy Johnson is sort of the arbitrator, or the creator of this concept. But anyway, what Sinestro wants is a way to get off the planet and back to Korugar, his homeworld. And if you know anything about Sinestro, despite all the cries for order and justice and instilling fear and manipulation, Sinestro really just wants Korugar safe. He wants his homeworld safe. He went too far, turning into a police state at the beginning, which led to him being exiled, which led to him to his falling out with the Green Lanterns. He's manipulated his daughter Saronic into fighting him, so that way the planet would accept Green Lanterns patrolling the planet again. That was good. He's instilled the Sinestro Corp, even no matter what, to protect Korugar. And when they went rogue and turned it into even worse than it was before, he definitely helped wipe out the Sinestro Corp, his own Corps, because they just went rogue. And when Korugar was destroyed by the First Lantern, he went rogue. He took Parallax in, and in Colin Bunn's Sinestro run, we see Sinestro going looking for the survivors of Korugar, those that weren't on planet, and attempt to rebuild it. So that's what he's done. So something's happened that he's been exiled. He's been sent to Earth, and Earth is apparently on quarantine. So, yeah. So Sinestro's like, hey, look, I need your ring. Get me out of here, and we're good. And Hal's like, fine. Look, take the ring. Just go. But there's a catch. This ring, we're not sure if it's courtesy of the United Federation of Planets, or if just what Hal's gotten, it won't work. All right, it only works for him. And Sinestro's like, fine, I'll do this my way then. And he's got bombs. He's got missiles being launched all around. Hal can't get them in time, so he calls his friend Barry. All right, Barry goes through. Barry and Hal do their thing. They stop the bombs, defuse the bombs, throw the bombs up in the air, and it's pretty much a good day. Good day to be a hero. And we then see, after it's all done, we see, Flash and Green Lantern go through, hard-traveling heroes, brave and the bold, whatever you want to call them. They go in like, bro, and it's fun. Then Barry meets Carol, and I always forget, because I think it's a weird decision DC's made. These superheroes aren't as intertwined as before. Like, there was a time when everyone knew about Ralph and Sue Dibny. Like, they knew about the marriage, and uh, we'd found conversations in the identity crisis primarily. We found out about, hey, whenever spouses go missing or there's a big event like this, the entire league gets together. Like, no matter what they're doing, they all stop to look at this. So it's the idea that the wives and spouses of superheroes would often get together. And they would, talk and support each other because they have to keep this secret. So there's something fun about that. Barry does not know that Carol is engaged to someone not Hal, and Barry's like, great. And so after dealing with a meteor shower, which was nothing too serious, primarily just some dude who got alien tech, illegal alien tech, is taken in pretty well. Barry and Hal talk, and they pretty much talk about Carol. Like, so, Hal, you and Carol, how'd you fumble the bag? Like, what's going on? What's going on? And Hal sort of talks about the fact that he and Carol have always been this sort of back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And what's interesting is that his relationship is pretty unique. The more I think about it, Superman, Aquaman, even the Flash, they all operate in their home. All right, Clark Kent as Superman primarily operates in Metropolis. Like, there'll be times when he goes off planet, but for the most part, he's in Metropolis. He's on Earth. Aquaman, him and Mara, the ocean, someplace in the north. I don't know. He always feels like a northerner. He lives up north, New Hampshire. Like, I think Aquaman's a New Hampshire man. But anyway, Barry and Keystone. Whenever they go somewhere, they're usually just like right there, like within reach, for the most part. But Hal, he goes off into space. He's a space cop. He's gone for months, maybe even years at a time. All right, so we don't quite. There's a different relationship there. And Barry says, "Look, dude, you have to ask yourself, like, is it better? Are you better without her? Are you better with her?" And Hal feels he's better with her. Like, then you go fight for her. All right. Who's this dude? All right. We're not gonna see him outside of this book. This dude she's engaged to. Like, So anyway, as they go through, it turns out Sinestro has one more ace up his sleeve. Jets. All right. So Sinestro gives off a speech. Like, so, you guys are kind of terrible. You know this, right? Like, people of Earth, you are terrible. We've got all these petty squabbles. Let your elected politicians just go in and manipulate you with all this sort of nonsense going on. I'm like, well, we've been called out, guys. We've been called out. You get all these fun little, stupid little tribal issues, distract you from the real things going on here. You're not being what you could be. And this is Sinestro in a nutshell. In, what was it? Early Jeff Johns' New 52's Green Lantern, which is just really his entire Green Lantern run, which is another reason why they shouldn't have rebooted until after that story had finished. Sinestro talks about how there's a lack of unity on Earth. Like, there's all these different languages, all these different cultures. There's no real unity. And he's like, what you guys need? You guys need a nice dose of fear. And so, yeah, this is Sinestro. Sinestro wields fear as in the same way a surgeon wields a scalpel. Hence his daughter. But this is fun. So we've got a bunch of jets going on through, courtesy of Ferris Air. So Carol's got another problem to deal with. So Hal has to deal with these jets who have new camouflage technology. So he has to now go to work as a hero in, I think, a way he never really wanted to. But once again, of course, it's as he's trying to get his life together, Sinestro's here. So Hal gets one. Pretty understandable. Well, the problem is these jets are super fast. And the problem is Barry, he's fast, but he still has to get in the air. So this isn't going to work out for Barry. Superman is off being Superman somewhere. It is what it is. So this is all really just there to scare people. Like, acts of terror scare people, all right? So points out is that, Carol reveals to Hal that the jets use light through the Rochester cloak to use light to turn invisible. Like, okay, I got that. So he messes with lights, with a light spectrum, goes through like, got it. And he gets one, he goes through, and Sinestro's like, okay. We still got a plan. We still got a plan. We still got this. There's still two more. Hal, meanwhile, goes off to the media and he tries to encourage people. And he gives a pretty cringe speech in my mind. It's a good uplifting speech, but it speaks to this sort of weird trope we have whenever we go into space. That Earth is special. Humans are special. Like, we have courage. All right? Other species don't have the courage like we do. All right? And this is at least better than the Steven Universe one, where it's like somehow Earth is different, and it's like other planets weren't like Earth, diverse. Look, but isn't that why the whole whatever? So he goes through. Sinestro takes this offensive, especially when Hal calls him like, yeah, he's a disgraced space cop. All right, don't listen to him. All right, he likes to sow fear and whatnot. He's fired. No one cares about him. But you guys, us, nah, we're different. We're built different. All right, we're better than this. All right, look, Coast City's been destroyed. Damn it. All right, it's back. All right, same spot because we do not shirk to fear. All right. So Hal motivates him, gives him all the speed, gives him all the speech and whatnot. They figure out where the two remaining jets are, and Hal has to do something nigh impossible, which Hal does. All right, so he makes two constructs, both moving at super speeds, to go and take out the jets. All right, so they go through. How it's a great stress. This is a monumental feat of willpower, because to make a construct is a big deal. All right, we see in what was it? Green Lantern Rebirth, that it took a great deal of focus for Ollie just to make an arrow, just one arrow. He was a sweaty mess. Now maybe Ollie just has crap willpower. That's understandable. But to make constructs on the fly, to make constructs go anywhere, takes a great deal of concentration. So now Hal is making two constructs going at opposite ends at super speeds to destroy a missile. So in other words, these constructs have to be durable, they have to move fast, and they have to be big enough to hit and disable these jets. And because it's Hal Jordan, he does it. Like, Hal Jordan's thing is he does the impossible. And so, Hal's feeling pretty good. All right, so, hey, Sinestro. So, we good? We good? Like, it's over, man. I don't know what you thought was going to happen. Sinestro feels like, you know what? I done had it. I done had all I wanted was to get off. I wanted to get out your hair. My entire plan was to leave you alone. All right, I asked you to help me get off the planet and leave you alone. All right? Something's wrong with the emotional spectrum. You don't want to hear me. Like, you know what? Fine. I'm just gonna be mad. And Sinestro taps into his ring turns red. So, for those who don't know, if you didn't see our Green Lantern comic run talk, we talk about the emotional spectrum. Red is the color of rage. All right, and it's not just being angry; it's being really pushed to your limit in terms of rage, in terms of like your temperament. All right, and so Sinestro's never been a Red Lantern. He's usually been green and yellow. It's kind of been willpower and fear. He had a stint as an Indigo Lantern. That was wild. That was wild. And I think people expect him at some point to become an Orange Lantern, theoretically. But anyway, so Rage is coming in, and this is big. This is big. All right, Kryptonian's like, well, I don't feel so good. Superman's like, so the emotional spectrum can sometimes be like kryptonite. So we're gonna have to sit this one out, kids. Let's go. So that was fun. Sinestro and Hal engage in fight number 98, I think. Two more, and it's an anniversary special. So Sinestro talks about how that this is the real him. Like, no more of the calm and controlled and precise. Like, no. At the end of the day, Sinestro was just mad. He's mad at the universe, mad at the world because of all the constant fighting and corruption and everything that no one seems to want to listen. And, it's an interesting idea that this is really Sinestro. That, he tries so hard to be controlled. At the end of the day, he's just mad. And I think there's some truth to that if you want to be hypercritical of Sinestro. He's just sort of like some jump thug. I don't think he is. But, I think at the end of the day, it's sort of like Radigan. There's a controlled version of him, there's an uncontrolled version of him. And Sinestro spends a lot of time keeping himself controlled. Which you wouldn't think because he's a villain. But, villains have a code. So, the fight goes through. It's a pretty interesting fight, The whole point of of a lantern fight is pretty much sort of like a wizard duel. It's what you can make, what you can think of. It's a battle of wits. All right, of wits and willpower. So there's that. Like whether it be fear or rage or love, the concept of willpower and your mental focus is what determines that. So we're looking at sort of a Yoda versus Sidious kind of fight here, or Madam Mim versus Merlin. And as Hal goes through this fight, you're like, you know what, Sinestro, I think you're right. Something is wrong with the emotional spectrum. And it's like, okay, now you want to listen. Well, now I'm seething with unyielding rage. So I got bad news for you, man. No, we're not gonna do it. So the fight goes through, and he's like, "You gotta stop. We need to stop. All right, it's supposed to be like this. The spectrum is supposed to be like this." So it's like, "You really should have done this before I became again seething with rage," and goes through, and the fight comes to a huge anticlimactic end. Hal goes back to his trailer, talks to Kilowog, and Razor comes in. Razor from the Green Lantern series on DC Nation points to Johnson trying to integrate this guy in, and he talks about how why are you talking to a construct of Kilowog? And we're like, wait, Kilowog's a construct? And he says Kilowog is dead, and I killed him. I was like, whoa, wait. First of all, this makes sense. Unless Kilowog didn't have a ring, actually Kilowog probably definitely would still have helped out if he didn't have a ring. But it makes sense why we only see Kilowog, with Hal. Also, Hal, you killed Kilowog? You killed the best Lantern in the Corps? Forget your John Stewarts, alright? Forget your Kal Reynolds, forget your Guy Gardner, forget dummy, thick Soren Ignatu, forget controversial, confusing, and you're gonna catch a case, Aricia, Alonde, who I think has already been transferred to a different corps, courtesy of, I forget his name, but the last major Green Lantern run, and Boudica. Forget them, or even the Tomar family, or Bizd, or Mogo, or Ganthet for that period of time. Kilowog is best Lantern. And you kill... No, there's got to be a story here. Alright, there better be. Alright, so anyway, that is it. So, ultimately, this story, this nice little back and forth with Sinestro and Hal, it sort of par for the course here. Nice little moment between Hal and Barry. It's nice when these series remind us that, these heroes have relationships outside of their own book. If Batman can still have a rapport with Barry, which he technically doesn't have anymore, courtesy of Price of Justice, which no one ever brings up again. If Superman can talk to pretty much whoever he wants in the superhero community, if Flash can talk to Mr. Terrific, bring these relationships back. Find a reason for them to talk to each other. They don't have to be like, hey, this will help resolve the plot. No, this helps resolve the B plot. Alright? Hal being unable to deal with the fact that, hey, he loves Carol. He's not sure if he should be with Carol or if he's good for Carol. Sinestro being pushed to the limit is sort of interesting because Sinestro has tried time and time again to get people to listen to him like, hey, this is what needs to be done. This is what's happening. You have to trust me. And it doesn't usually work, so Sinestro has to manipulate people. Alright? And he's good at it. Alright? He's possibly the best manipulator in the DC universe. I think Lex is good at it too. But, in terms of, bad guys, I think it's Sinestro and Lex. And then Batman, I guess. Amanda Waller doesn't manipulate. She just, puts bombs in your head, just does whatever she wants. I'm seeing him push that limit here with his sort of pretty blasé terrorist attack. I get it. It's Sinestro's trying to motivate them with a dose of fear while at the same time trying to put Hal in a situation where, hey, look, you either help me or I'm going to start some stuff. I will be the problem I can be. So, there's that. This revealed that there is something wrong with the emotional spectrum. I don't think that story's been told well enough here, because for the most part, I thought there was just something up with Hal's ring. Hal didn't bother to attribute that to the emotional spectrum, but maybe that's on me for missing it. But also, that is the default story for Green Lantern stories recently. Something's wrong with the emotional spectrum. It was the first big story of New 52 for Green Lanterns. Again, because Green Lantern never rebooted with the rest of the lineup in New 52. which is weird. I said, like, you know what? There's a lot of reality warping going on in the Green Lantern book. All these alternate realities coming through. Couldn't this have been the start to New 52? But, whatever. So anyway, that is it. What you guys think of this Green Lantern book? I made a mistake. This is not Philip Kennedy Johnson. This is Jeremy Adams. So there's me on that one. I like it. I don't love it. I think because Hal has never really been my favorite Lantern. He's up there. But to me, my favorite Lantern is either John Stewart or Kilowog. Best boy Kilowog. Sinestro. Like those three. Jessica Cruz has worked her way up there since Sam Humphrey's run. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So anyway, if you're new to the Bucket Think Tank, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, check out some of my videos, and I'll catch you all later. This is Bucket Think Tank signing off. Thanks for watching. As always, may your fandom serve you well.